LeMaster. Welcome to my Common Sense Living podcast, where I will add common sense and value to your life. Get a pen and paper because you're going to want to take notes. As I said in my bio, I have many varied interests, so I hope you enjoy today's selection. I'm going to educate you on a personal story of pain and how I resolved it drug-free. Then I'm going to continue with one of my favorite topics, the pineal gland. And I'll end on a lovely note about love. I listen to the Cryon channelings because his voice is so soothing and topics always calm me. So with that, let's get started. I recently returned from the Worldwide Seed Summit Conference in Las Vegas, where I met up with old friends and discovered some new ones. Every year, new products are introduced, and this year, my favorite is X-Seeds CBD Recovery Balm. Why this product, you ask? Well, let me take you on my journey. September 21st, I was working so hard in the garden. Now what happened? September 21st, I was working so hard in my garden trying to get fall plants in the ground before the rain came. I was raised as a gotta get her done kind of gal. So I worked really hard, oblivious to my aches and pains. The pain in my right leg got worse, but having high pain tolerance, I pushed through and waited till January for my hip doctor appointment. The doctor wants to do hip surgery. No other alternative. I emphatically declined. So, follow the money. With the pain getting worse, I endured it till my regular doctor appointment in April of 22. The PA offered in this order, prednisone, NSAIDs, or therapy. Knowing the dangers of the first two options, I of course jumped on the therapy. That's what I wanted in September. It was helpful, but still not the answer. Why is therapy the last offer? A little common sense goes a long way. It's called follow the money. Therapy was helpful, but still not the answer. By now, the pain moved to my knee and down my leg. I was walking with a limp and unable to do daily tasks. As a medical professional myself, I intuitively knew what I needed. Massage, not just any massage, sports massage. My IT band and psoas muscle were so strained, I knew that would be the only cure for me. Of course, insurance doesn't pay for massage. Only drugs, which ultimately makes one have more issues and the provider financially more secure, which is called follow the money. I finally found Jimmy, a sports masseuse. He really helped, but once a week wasn't enough. I had to find a complement to sports massage. And I finally did find my solution. Wait for it, wait. My answer came at the Worldwide Seed Summit, the conference where I was introduced to X-Seeds. I used the roll-on and 15 minutes later felt some relief. Of course, it's not a miracle drug. So several applications were needed throughout the day and evening. In less than a week, I'm walking with minimal to no pain. I also use it on my shoulders from sitting here at the computer, so I get a strain in my neck and I use it and it works wonders for that as well. So I ask that you would please support one of my advertising sponsors, seednutrition.com/ant, where you can sign up and get your X-Seeds CBD Recovery Balm for yourself or someone you care about. And while you're on the site, feel free to check out all the other products offered. This is the balm that I used. And like I said, it is awesome. You just undo it, take the cap off, and wherever you're sore, roll this up to get it to come up and just roll it wherever you're sore. And my cats even like the smell of it. So I also am looking for 8 people to join my company that want to make a positive impact and changing lives for the better. So do you want to help yourself and those that you encounter in life make healthier choices? Do you want to make some money while doing so? Then please contact me at LeMaster@yahoo.com. That's ANNLEMASTER@yahoo.com, or sign up at seednutrition.com/ant. That's SEEDNUTRITION pineal.com/ANNT. So that's my success story, and I absolutely love it. So now my favorite topic, one of many, is by Wendy Myers, Myers Detox, and it's on the pineal gland. So these topics now will be on the spiritual side. So why you should decalcify your pineal gland and 6 ways to do it. While most people don't know much about their pineal gland, this tiny organ is becoming an increasingly popular topic of conversation in both the medical and spiritual communities. Unfortunately, research shows that as you age, this gland starts to calcify, inhibiting its powerful intuitive ability and potentially leading to psychological dysregulation. So what is this tiny gland all about, and what can you do to preserve its unique functions? In this article, you're going to learn what the pineal gland is and how its physiological functions impact your health, the spiritual aspect of the pineal gland and why keeping this gland healthy can help you reach higher levels of consciousness, how calcification of the pineal gland happens and what you can do to reverse and prevent it, the detrimental role your drinking water is likely playing in the pineal gland function. When someone wants to scan your temperature on your head or temple, do not allow them to do so. I was checking in for a doctor appointment and declined the head scan for the wrist. The person doing the scan said she can't do the wrist. I told her it is a valid site and perhaps she should upgrade her education. I want to speak to the manager, I said. He said they can use the wrist and his staff needs to be informed. So what is the pineal gland? It is part of your endocrine system, which is the system that regulates all hormonal processes in the body. This tiny gland sits in the center of your brain, secreting the hormone melatonin to control your circadian rhythm, especially your sleep and wake cycles. By receiving information about the light-dark cycle of the environment around you, your pineal gland picks up on the rhythmic changes that happen throughout the day. This information is what stimulates the gland to either produce more melatonin, which signals that it's time to rest, or inhibits melatonin production, signaling that it's daytime, a time to be active. That's why they say don't do computers or the TV an hour before you go to bed, minimum. In addition to melatonin's role in maintaining a balanced circadian clock, this hormone also is involved in neuroprotection, cellular protection, brain detox, and the reproductive system, and is suggested to play a role in longevity. The pineal gland as a spiritual gateway. René Descartes, the famous French philosopher, described the pineal gland as the seat of the soul. In the ancient science of yoga, the pineal gland is said to be associated with the 6th chakra, also known as the third eye, right here in the center. But what does this gland have to do with spirituality? While modern medicine will simply file the pineal gland under the endocrine system, ancient spiritual sages have understood that there is much more to this part of the anatomy that meets the eye. For example, your pineal gland secretes a compound called, and I can't pronounce it, so I'll just give it the acronym, the DMT. I can't pronounce it, also known as the spirit molecule. Although research is still pending, it is widely believed that your body produces large amounts of DMT twice in your life, at the moment of your birth and again at the moment of your death. DMT is a psychedelic compound that enhances one's perception and is responsible for the awakening many people experience during psychedelic journeys with plants like ayahuasca and medicinal mushrooms. These plants have been used for thousands of years in spiritual ceremonies to awaken the inner soul and open one's awareness to higher spiritual realms. From the perspective of your chakra system, your pineal gland is aligned with your 6th center, also known as your third eye. Your chakra system is a scientifically validated energetic system that corresponds to your endocrine system. The third eye, which sits just above the center of your eyebrows, which is right here, is known as a center of inner enlightenment. This is where you connect with your deeper self and from where you draw your intuition. Creating balance in this center opens your spiritual awareness, allowing you to perceive beyond the physical world around you. It is your connection to spirit. That's how I know things. In ancient Egypt, the symbol of the eye of Horus has remarkable similarities to the structure of the pineal gland. This symbol is used for spiritual and psychic protection, which alludes to the fact that ancient Egyptians were likely familiar with the power of the pineal gland as well. In meditation, many people find that the deeper they go, the more their eyes will begin to turn upwards, as if they're looking at their third eye. This allows you to engage in deeper concentration, as if the third eye is pulling you into its mystical realm. In fact, many teachers and gurus will instruct their students to focus on the point between their eyebrows as they begin their meditation to expedite their connection with spirit. No matter how you look at it, whether you think of it as a gland, a third eye, or a spiritual center, the pineal gland unquestionably plays a role in spirituality and spiritual development. But what happens if this gland isn't functioning properly? So we have the calcification of the pineal gland. Anatomically, your pineal gland is located in the center of your brain and is highly vascularized. In fact, your pineal gland receives more blood flow than any other part of your brain. Unfortunately, it also sits outside of your blood-brain barrier. The blood-brain barrier is a network of cells that protect your brain tissue from toxins and unwanted compounds. These tightly connected cells work by only allowing nutrients in that are healthy for your brain while creating a strong barrier against anything that doesn't belong. With your pineal gland sitting outside the blood-brain barrier, it becomes much more vulnerable to toxic insults. For this reason, CT scans show that as you age, your pineal gland can slowly become calcified. The culprit for this calcification, while many toxins likely play a role, fluoride and chlorine from the municipal water supply and pesticides are chief instigators. Fluoride in particular accumulates in the pineal gland more than any other part of the body. This results in the formation of phosphate crystals, which forms a hard shell around the gland, also known as calcification. So what are the effects of a calcified pineal gland? As you've learned, your pineal gland is responsible for helping you maintain a balanced circadian rhythm, along with spiritual insight and intuition. Physically, when the pineal gland becomes calcified, it can lower the production of melatonin, which, as mentioned, is not only involved in the sleep-wake cycle, but also in several other processes like reproduction, longevity, and neuroprotection. Furthermore, disturbances in melatonin production directly impact your body's circadian rhythm, which influences body temperature, digestion, hormones, and more. On a larger scale, you can think of your pineal gland as your direct connection with nature and higher consciousness. If there were no artificial lights, then your pineal gland alone would set in motion your daily rhythms, which would align with the natural world around you, including all other plants and animals on this planet. Furthermore, from a spiritual perspective, your pineal gland keeps you awake to your true self and your innate connection with higher aspects of consciousness. This also impacts your connection to the human community at large. Without a functioning pineal gland, you can easily forget who you truly are, as your intuition and guidance system will be inhibited. So how do you enhance your pineal gland health and function? 1, you remove fluoride and chlorine from your water. By far, the biggest culprit behind pineal calcification is fluoridated water. Therefore, first and foremost, you must be sure that the water you consume is free of fluoride. Around 86% of U.S. households receive their water from a municipal supply, which is almost always contaminated with chlorine. And research shows that at least 66% of U.S. households receive water that is fluoridated. Both of these chemicals are toxic to the pineal gland, so steering clear of tap water is an absolute must. While adding fluoride to the water supply is meant to enhance the strength of your teeth, many people overlook this compound's very thin therapeutic toxic ratio. I am inclined to think what you eat strengthens your teeth, because your body utilizes everything that comes into it, either in a negative aspect or positive aspect. So if you eat organic, wholesome food, your body is being nourished. Putting something artificially on your teeth by drinking the water and or a fluoride treatment at the doctor, at the dentist, doesn't make sense to me, but hey, use common sense. I think there again, kind of like about the money. So most conventional toothpaste on the market also contains added fluoride. So keep an eye out for that and opt for brands that say fluoride free on the package. Are you aware fluoride is derived from the World War II Nazis? It was used to dumb down the general public, making them easier to control. Interesting, isn't it? What's going on today and has been going on for years, but it's really manifesting since COVID. As a child in the 1950s, I remember my mother telling us not to eat the flavored toothpaste as it will turn our teeth brown. You figure that. She could have just said it so we didn't eat it, thinking it was food. There are several water filters out there that can protect against fluoride, but the one she recommends is pH prescriptions. This filter not only removes fluoride, but also clears your water of several other toxic compounds known to damage health, including, but not limited to, heavy metals, drug residues, radioactive isotopes, pesticides, VOC, and much more. Personally, I use a Berkey, but I don't think it's quite as good as this pH prescriptions. Because what's more, the pH prescriptions doesn't just filter the water, but it structures the water for enhanced absorption with minerals, hydrogen, and electrons. So if you're going to invest in a water filter system, there's nothing else like this one on the market, according to Wendy Myers. Number two, you're going to enhance the quality of your food. Another potential source of fluoride exposure is conventional produce, specifically fluoride can be found in certain pesticides that are sprayed on non-organic crops. Over time, if you consume conventional produce on a regular basis, this could result in a fluoride buildup in your body. I always prefer to buy my produce from a farmer's market to support the farmers in my area. If you have an opportunity to check out your local market, you can ask conventional farmers if they use pesticides. Many small farms opt out of the organic certification because it's so expensive, but they still use organic pesticide-free farming practices. Finding small farms in your area is a fantastic way to support local farms while saving some money on organic produce. Number three, be wary of calcium supplements. Research shows that calcium supplements may enhance calcification in the body. While most studies have focused on arterial calcification related to heart disease, it's the same process that causes calcification in the pineal gland. Wendy believes many people need to take calcium. The distinction here is the form of calcium. You want to avoid cheap, poorly absorbed calcium supplements. She prefers and recommends calcium lactate. It's highly absorbable. I remember while at the gynecologist's office, the doctor was writing his notes at the end of my exam, and he asked if I was taking calcium supplements, and I said no. I'll never forget the sidelong glance of disgust he gave me. You tell me, why did he think that I needed to take it, knowing what we know? So number four, detox the pineal gland. Removing the toxic insults from your environment will help to prevent further calcification of your pineal gland, but what can you do about calcification buildup that's already occurred? This is where detoxification comes in. Removing toxins from your body can be a tricky process. The problem with most detox programs and supplements is that they only focus on one thing, getting the toxins out of your cells. While this is clearly an imperative step in the process, yanking chemicals out of your cells isn't going to help you much if those compounds stick around in your blood supply and relodge themselves into different tissues. For the full detoxification process to work, you need 3 steps. 1, freeing the toxins from your cells, literally loosening them from the grip of your cell contents. 2, removal of the toxins from your cells into your blood. And 3, elimination of those toxins out of your blood via sweat, feces, and urine. As mentioned, most compounds and nutrients that are known to detoxify the body can only carry out one of the functions mentioned above. While equally important, these 3 steps range from useless to detrimental on their own. This is why Wendy created her CitraCleanse Toxin Binder formula. CitraCleanse contains 3 potent detoxifying agents that not only help loosen toxins from your cells and carry them into your blood, but also assist in eliminating the toxins from your body once and for all. So here's a snapshot of the ingredients. Cilantro supports the body's natural excretion of harmful environmental pollutants and toxins that interfere with your health. The grapefruit pectin gently surrounds the contaminants circulating in your bloodstream, as well as those lodged in your tissues and organs, and accelerate their natural removal. Fulvic minerals helps to neutralize toxins, remineralize the body, and aid in overall detoxification support. Furthermore, research shows that fulvic acid specifically helps with the decalcification process. If you want to free up your pineal gland from its toxic insults, the CitraCleanse Toxin Binder is the best place to start. You can also use tamarind paste in your diet to help dissolve fluoride calcification of your pineal gland, or put a tablespoon in cooked greens, or make a tamarind drink of the paste with water and stevia. And that is spelled TAMARIND. Number 5, support your liver. Part of supporting the health of your pineal gland, along with every other organ and tissue in your body, is enhancing your natural detoxification system. Keep in mind that it is an overload of toxins that causes calcification in the first place. Your pineal gland is especially vulnerable to toxic insults since it sits outside the blood-brain barrier, as explained before, and is highly vascularized. Therefore, adding liver support to help maintain the health of your pineal gland is vital. Even if you switch out your water system, eat only organic foods, and stay on top of all other toxins in your home, the sad truth is we live in a toxic world today, and most people's livers are struggling to keep up. Just go outside with all the chemtrails and all the stuff sprayed in the air. Who knows? Even the neighbor using his Roundup and the overspray. So put together a daily detox as an all-in-one everyday detox support tool to help you eliminate toxins that sneak their way into your body. Unlike some other detox supplements on the market, Daily Detox is specifically formulated to be gentle enough for everyday use while still producing powerful results. Number 6, use energy medicine. Ensure every tissue and organ in your body operates optimally when it's vibrating at a specific frequency. Energy medicine is based on the understanding that when these frequencies become dysregulated, it causes dysfunction at the tissue level, which can then show up as an imbalance or disease in the organ. There are several devices out there that can help optimize and regulate the frequencies in your body, but the one I have found to be the most profound and useful is the spooky2.com Rife machine. The Spooky2 Rife machine, spelled as spooky, S-P-O-O-K-Y, the number 2, and Rife, R-I-F-E machine, has a frequency setting that's specific to your pineal gland. Once applied, it sends frequencies to the gland with operating instructions to decalcify the tissue and bring it back to optimal vibratory balance. In other words, allowing the Rife machine to enhance the vibrational frequency of your pineal gland results in physiological activity that naturally decalcifies the gland, returning it to optimal function. So the takeaway is, although we currently have a profound understanding of the human body, there are still many mysteries yet to uncover, and the power of the pineal gland is one of them. This tiny yet mighty gland is not only the ringleader for your circadian rhythm, but also the doorway between you and higher consciousness, spirit, God, whatever word resonates best with you. Unfortunately, many people find that as they age, their pineal gland starts to calcify. This impacts sleep and your daily rhythm and can create a chasm between you and your spiritual connection. The good news is that you can enhance your pineal gland's vitality and help it decalcify by clearing toxins like fluoride and chlorine and enhancing your body's natural detoxification systems. Furthermore, with technology like the Rife, you can directly decalcify your pineal gland with powerful frequency medicine. Now, the disclaimer for both me and Wendy Myers. These statements have not been reviewed by the FDA. Daily Detox and CitraCleanse are dietary supplements and are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. They are not intended to replace any medication or healing modality prescribed by your medical doctor. Please consult with your doctor before beginning a new supplement regimen. And that goes with my disclaimer as well. We're going to end on a couple of the Cryon channelings. And this one is from the Cryon Book 8, Passing the Marker, page 117, posted October 2nd of 2022. The Grand Avatar. What does a Grand Avatar have that you seem not to? The answer to that question is complete self-awareness. When you discover the divinity inside your DNA, your DNA changes to accommodate the reality of your discovery. This is also called creating your own reality, a subject we have explored before. Your DNA is perfect, but you have allowed restrictors to be placed in your body that provides for short lifetimes, disease, and imbalance. That can be chemical, well, basically most of it is chemical, whether it comes in vaccines like aluminum and mercury, or the toxic sprays on food. Yeah, pretty much man-made things. With intent, these restrictors are lessened, and the DNA is allowed you to become closer to what it was designed to be. All of this was created by you and for you. Now you're being enabled to bring the DNA into a state that will respond to your consciousness. And this reminds me, when I was going to nursing school, I lived in Iowa, and I worked full-time in the factory and went to school full-time for nursing. You don't live 1 year, any winter through Iowa without having a cold. I spoke to my body and I claimed, I will not be sick. I refuse to be sick. I don't have time to be sick. I cannot be sick. Therefore, I will not be sick. I give myself permission to be sick when I'm done with school, but until then, I will not be ill. Unfortunately, I gave myself permission to be sick, and the entire year in Iowa, I didn't even have so much as a cold. And then I took another class in case I'd go for my RN, and I still wasn't sick. So that was 15 months. I did not have any illness. As soon as I was done with school, I was so sick. I had walking pneumonia. So I should have probably been in the hospital, but instead, unfortunately, my father was diagnosed with glioblastoma and died 3 months later. But that is the power of what I call mind over matter, or what I have now since shortened to mindset. I talked to my body, I claimed perfect health, and it happened. It happened because I believed it and made it so. With God's help, of course. So now we're going to end on this one, which is multidimensional love of the creative source of all things. This is excerpt channeled by Lee Carroll on February 2nd of 2022 during his Healing Wednesday program. I listen to Cryon channelings because his voice is so soothing to me, and I learn so much. So with that, let's go beyond this reality. I want to share the following about love. Perhaps you should erase what you've been told about how much God loves you, or even what you think you know about how much God loves you, because it's not completely true. God loves you more than you've been told or what you think. That's the truth. Hard to understand the kind of love that comes your way. What if I told you that which you call love has a completely different name, or perhaps a completely different perception from us to you? What if I told you that there are attributes of love within your DNA? What if I told you that part of the double helix itself vibrates a certain way with love? Now that's a little different than you were told. For humans, love is an emotion. It's a great emotion, and it's an emotion that comes and goes. And what I mean by that, you receive it and you give it. It comes in and you are also able to send it out. This is an interesting concept because not all emotions are that way. In the case of love, you can transmit it way beyond the room you're in. If so many of the other emotions you feel, you can transmit them to the bubble around you, but not much more. There's something about love. What do you know about love and compassion that you've been told esoterically? Now, for many years, perhaps even by the guests on this show, Healing Wednesday, you have been told about the field. Love lives in the field, and it can be transmitted a long distance around the world, where you can love somebody dearly and imagine that they're receiving it, and they will. That is esoterics at its best. It also tells you that this thing you call love is multidimensional. It's more than an emotion, dear ones. Love can trigger a cascading effect of health and balance, and so it is. So that is today's session, and with that, I'm going to end on what I do at 11:11 every day, and my alarm on my phone is set for that. It comes initially from a cryon channeling, a lady, and I unfortunately can't remember who she is, but I give her credit, and I heard it on the cryon channeling, a prayer that you do at 11:11. And if the whole world, if everybody did this at 11:11, the whole world would be bombarded with healing, loving light 24/7. And we are so in need of it. And it is gaining. More and more people are. My trip to Vegas, everybody I encountered was so kind and just, it was beautiful. Humanity really is beautiful. So with that, this is the prayer I say at 11:11 every day, and you make it how it fits for you. But this is how I do it. Hands in prayer position to the third eye, to your lips, and to your heart. And I give gratitude and thanks to you, Lord, for all my blessings, and please keep them coming. I give gratitude and thanks to all the educators for speaking truth and bringing us closer to you into your fold. I give gratitude and thanks to my heart for receiving your healing, loving light, pumping it through my entire being, creating every cell as perfect, healthy, vibrant, and whole. And so it is. Amen. And you notice that I put my hand up. If you're driving your car or busy vacuuming with one hand, you can do that, because the intent carries you that one hand is as the prayer position. So with that, I send my love to all of you, and have an awesome, wonderful, blessed rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in to my Common Sense Living podcast today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm sure you learned something new. Please leave a kind review and share this episode with a friend. And be sure to subscribe yourself. You'll find me on iTunes, Spotify, and other platforms. And don't forget, we'll be here again next week with another insightful episode of Common Sense Living. I can hardly wait.